Everyone who enjoys wildlife, bird watchers, fishermen, photographers, refuge visitors, together with sportsmen, can ensure a future for America's wildlife by buying a duck stamp. It's the most direct way you can help wildlife.
In response to market hunting and mass destruction of wildlife habitats, waterfowl populations dwindled to an all-time low in the early 1930s. To communicate the need to restore waterfowl populations and habitats, Congress passed the Duck Stamp Act in 1934, which required all waterfowl hunters to purchase an annual stamp. The yearly license has also become a collector's item as a result of the national competition that brings together some of the finest artists in the United States to compete for the right to author the annual stamp. Over the past 87 years, the Duck Stamp program has generated more than $1 billion of revenue that has been used to acquire over 6 million acres of habitat, which communicates that diverse groups of hunters played a key role in wildlife conservation and restoration of duck populations. For thousands of years, North America's waterfowl and wetlands were carefully managed by indigenous nations. When Europeans came to the Americas, the arrival of excess people onto the land destroyed essential habitat for wildlife through farming, mining, and deforestation. By the 1930s, millions of acres of wetlands were drained for farmland and transformed into ever-expanding cities. Overharvesting of waterfowl was another problem. Some species of animals and birds were on the brink of extinction, including the very beautiful and colorful wood duck, which was a result of market shooting, a tactic used to supply restaurants and markets with wild game. The Labrador duck also went extinct in 1875. Even birds with seemingly endless populations, such as the passenger pigeon, dwindled to nothing. New technology like shotguns that could be easily reloaded and oversized punt guns also innovated wild game harvesting procedures. By the 1930s, duck populations were at record lows caused by increased market shooting, continued wetland loss, and the onslaught of the Dust Bowl. Waterfowl advocates needed funding to preserve habitat, preferably something that would help communicate the urgent need for waterfowl and wetland management.
When things get really, really bad, then people kind of rally and they form groups. So Ducks Unlimited was formed, and there were a lot of local hunting clubs that were pushing for the government to do something. And so I think it was an awareness that there was a real problem here that created the duck stamp. And so you identified some of those. We were in the Dust Bowl days, as well as market hunting and unregulated hunting, and there were no management programs at the time. So everything that was, operating on ducks was operating to decrease the population. And when people saw this, they rallied and they said to the government, you've got to do something here.
On March 17th, 1934, the headlines read, "Duck Bill initiates wildlife program to announce congressional approval of the new duck stamp tax on hunters that would pave the way for a Department of Agriculture conservation program." The stamp would cost $1 for sportsmen and would raise funds for the purchase of migratory bird sanctuaries throughout the country. Revenues from the tax were predicted to total more than $1 million annually. One of the main advocates of the duck stamp was J. Norwood Darling, a Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist. He was appointed to lead the U.S. Biological Survey in 1934 and successfully rolled out the duck stamp program. As an artist, he also created the first duck stamp design, and in the first year, it raised $635,000. By buying duck stamps, people help waterfowl and wetlands across North America. Since 1934, all waterfowl hunters must purchase an annual stamp. The price started at $1 and has increased over the years. Since the low populations of the 1930s, duck stamp dollars have greatly increased duck populations unlike any other conservation movement. That's because dollars raised by the stamp are used to secure land. In the first year of the program, 1 million acres were declared conservation sites. The duck stamp is also a work of art. Beginning in 1949, because of the revenue success of the duck stamp, The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service organized a national competition to design a stamp. The artist who wins the competition gains widespread recognition, and their art is an instant collector's item.
In the 80s, people were going crazy over wildlife art, and wildlife art in general originated from duck stamp art. And so people started, really promoting the duck stamp as artwork, and out of that came all the other wildlife artists. And so all of a sudden, this wildlife art business kind of blew up overnight.
Well, a tenth of all duck stamps are bought by stamp collectors. The rest are bought by conservationists and hunters. The duck stamp program unites these diverse groups of people around a shared common interest: wildlife conservation and duck restoration.
It's a great way to fuse both conservation and art, which I don't think you see in other places. And so it's those two things that mean the most to me.
Duck stamp artists use the duck stamp as a way to express their personal connections to duck hunting and the outdoors. The art itself is a communication of the values held by the painter about the desire to protect wetlands. It's more than just a painting or a stamp. It communicates a call to action.
This last federal duck stamp that I did which was a wood duck. I painted a old mason decoy in the background, and for me, it's kind of I wanted people to think about our hunting heritage. The decoy meant a lot to me because that decoy that my father used when he was just starting to hunt way back in the 50s. So it's kind of a reminder of a legacy. And it's a reminder that we have to be active and do something to support our natural habitats.
Duck stamps are a reminder that conservation efforts in the past worked and benefit us today. We must carry on that tradition because wetland loss is an ever-present danger. As the population of people continues to grow, more stress is put on wetlands that are crucial for waterfowl and other species. Wetlands benefit people as well. People spend time in wetlands to connect with nature. Wetlands are nature's water filter and flood preventer, and protect against erosion. Duck stamp conservationists and hunters purchase an annual license as a result of the shared understanding of wetlands, and because the program allows them to realize that they play a direct role in the conservation and restoration of duck populations. This piece of art, this stamp, has done so much. Today, the duck stamp costs $25 per stamp. That increase in cost over the years is much less than the increase in land prices. Still, duck stamp dollars have purchased and restored around 6 million acres of wetlands that are now federally protected. Additionally, conservation groups and local communities and national groups like Delta Waterfowl and Ducks Unlimited were founded to support conservation of waterfowl and wetlands. These organizations promote the stamp and market the artwork as a common item sold at fundraising events. Those dollars are not only used to restore habitat, but also to lobby Congress and state legislatures for stronger conservation laws and protections. All groups believe that there is more to be done, and the duck stamp story plays a bigger role in that.
Duck stamp equals habitat has been the message with the stamp for multiple generations, and I think that's an easy message that has resonated with the public.
The duck stamp program united different corners of wildlife organizations and participants through a shared purpose, communicating the need to also protect wetlands and duck populations. Through the National Art Fundraising Contest, these individuals and communities have carried on the importance of conservation and restoration program, one of the successful government programs in the United States.
I want people to see that this is a program that we all benefit from, and it's not just a hunting stamp. The hunters are the only ones who have to buy it, which makes me very happy. It's willing to put money into the resource, but I'd also like to see other people step up to the plate and help too, because it's habitat helps us all.
My name's Walt Rhodes. I'm a pilot biologist within the branch of migratory bird surveys in the Division of Migratory Bird Management for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And I come to the Federal Duck Stamp Contest every year as a scientific advisor to the judges for the contest. And generally, my role is to answer any questions that the judges may have in relation to the biological aspects of the painting, such as, does the plumage of the birds match the phenology of the vegetation? Is the bird and habitat association typically where you would see that? Now, obviously birds have wings and can be anywhere, anytime. So, we have some liberty there. We'll count feathers and stuff, but typically all the artists are very good about having the correct number of feathers, such as the primaries and whatnot. And I'm just here to answer anything that the judges may have a concern with, again, related to the anatomy or biology of the bird.
Have you ever been curious about our National Junior Duck Stamp Contest? Here are the results from 2025. We start with all of the entries, and the judges each choose 5 different pieces that they want to see in the next round, based on originality, identifiable as one of the eligible native North American species, artistic composition, and suitability for reproduction on a 1.5 by 2 inch stamp. It is narrowed down from more than 50 to determine honorable mentions. And then narrowed down to the top 25. And then it's narrowed down to the top 15. And then to the top 10. And finally, to the top 5. Then the judges score each piece of artwork, assigning a numerical score to determine a winner. The national third place went to Danny Newlin from Oregon with an acrylic common merganser pear in a tree. National second place went to Sophie Shue from Maryland with her oil painting of harlequin ducks. And the National Junior Duck Stamp winner is Catherine Leung from Texas with her oil painting of a northern shoveler. The conservation message is also chosen by the judges, and the winner for 2025 is Nature Needs Heroes, B1, by Kaylin Castle from North Dakota. Buy your junior duck stamps today.
Did you hear that? That means the very first set of the 2025-2026 Federal and Junior Duck Stamps have arrived. This is the 92nd edition of the Federal Duck Stamp. This program has delivered a remarkably positive impact for American waterfowl hunters and for wildlife, raising $1.3 billion for conservation of more than 6 million acres of important waterfowl habitat and breeding grounds. Both my mom and dad were duck hunters, and sometimes my siblings and we'd get to tag along. I remember watching the sun come up in a duck blind for the very first time when I was only 5 years old. As a lifelong outdoorsman and former governor, I personally know the hunters and habitats in my home state of North Dakota have benefited from duck stamp dollars. This includes the Chase Lake National Wildlife Refuge, one of the oldest refuges in the country, which was designated by President Theodore Roosevelt in 1908. It's our hope you'll join us today and be part of conservation history by buying your duck stamp to benefit wildlife refuges near your home and around the country. You can buy yours now online at www.fws.gov.
Good morning and welcome to the Federal Duck Stamp Contest. I'm Brian Nesvik, Director of the United States Fish and Wildlife Service and a proud supporter of the Duck Stamp program. I know that many of you are also proud supporters of the program and are our partners in conservation. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you in the room, but I'm here with the thousands of other people around the country watching the live stream so I can be one of the first people to find out who the winner of this year's contest will be. As the only juried art contest in all of the federal government, This program has stood the test of time because of the artists that believe in the mission of this program and share their talent to continue the legacy. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service produces the federal duck stamp, which sells for $25 and raises approximately $40 million through sales each year. This supports critical conservation of wetland habitats in the National Wildlife Refuge System. More than 90 years since the first stamp was issued, sales of migratory bird hunting and conservation stamps to hunters, bird watchers, outdoor enthusiasts, refuge visitors, and stamp collectors have raised more than $1.3 billion, that's billion with a B, which has been used to conserve over 6 million acres of wetland habitats for birds and other wildlife. These same wildlife habitats also provide buffers from floods and droughts, help purify water supplies, provide economic support to local communities, and provide numerous recreational opportunities for all of us to enjoy. To be a part of this proud conservation legacy, all you need to do is purchase a federal duck stamp at a National Wildlife Refuge, a sporting goods store, another retailer, through the U.S. Postal Service, or even online. I encourage you to join the movement and put your stamp on conservation. And after seeing the impressive artwork that has been entered this year, you can truly appreciate the dedication these artists are willing to put into the chance to help raise funds for this program. The paintings are extremely impressive by themselves, but I think it's even more remarkable that these artists are dedicating their talents to protect wildlife and wild places, because that is what the Duck Stamp program is all about: art and conservation coming together to make a lasting contribution for wildlife. And on that note, I'm excited for the judging to start. Good luck to all the artists, and thank you so much for all you do for conservation. Now let's get started.
Good morning. Better, yes, we learned on day 2. Thank you. And welcome and to the second and final day of the 2025 Federal Duck Stamp Contest. I hope you were all able to get a cup of bird-friendly coffee from our Chesapeake Coffee Roasters local company this morning, see the screech owls, and of course, buy your duck stamp. If you haven't had a chance yet to do those things during the lunch hour, you can see the screech owls and still have a chance to buy your duck stamp and have it signed by the artist Adam Grimm, who's here. Room A, which is right next door, will not be open to the public today. So we ask that if you have a phone call or if you need to step out, that you would just go out into the hallway for today's contest. I also met a special guest, Murray. You have to say hello. Where did he go? Who came all the way from Scotland for this contest. And he comes to all the contests, and what a special privilege that you would come all this way for this, so thank you. And you definitely win the award for farthest traveled for the duck stamp this year. And on the live stream yesterday, I have to say it got very lively, and at the peak there were over 5,600 people on the live stream. So thank you to our online audience who probably secretly watched from work most of the day yesterday, and stay with us today this morning. It's going to be an exciting morning for sure. Today's the day. And before we get started, I did want to introduce, we have a special guest with us, the counselor to the director, Brian Nesvik, who you just saw. Mr. Ron Schindler is here with us this morning, just to say hello. And then to kick this off, I'm going to hand things over to Jerome.
Thanks, Valerie. I got to be on my best behavior today because I have a boss in the audience, right? No pressure, no pressure. But I do want to say before I read my pretty words here today to you, it's good to have our top brass support this program. And I remember I was out of town, we were doing the first day of sale when the secretary purchased the first stamp, and I kind of missed that. And it was maybe the week after that, I was walking down the hall, and the secretary normally comes in the building on the C Street side. So I'm going to leave that day. After I put in my 8 hours, I go out the East Street side. Guess who I run into? The secretary. But I did get a chance to talk to him about the contest, about the first day of sale, him buying the first stamp, and we stood there. He took time for about 5 minutes to stand there and talk about how much he supports this program. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. That just wasn't a video that was staged. The secretary truly supports what we do here in bird conservation. So I want to thank you all. It's a Friday. We used to do this, and it would be on a Saturday. And I would say thank you for spending your Saturday, but thank you for spending your Friday here. We know some of you have to take off work to be here. So that goes and shows your dedication to this outstanding program. So that makes it real special to me and warms my heart. So I do have a special request. So after today's judging, I hope you all are inspired to go outside and spend some time and buy a duck stamp and explore any National Wildlife Refuge that you come across. There's at least 573 refuges and 38 wetland management districts across the U.S. and our territories. The sales from the federal duck stamp go to purchase wetlands, wetland habitat, as you've heard us talk about here ever since yesterday, that are part of the National Wildlife Refuge System. And there's at least one National Wildlife Refuge in every state. Most of you live within 50 miles of a National Wildlife Refuge. So if you don't know where your closest or nearest refuge is, look that up, Google it, and you'll be able to find a refuge, and hopefully you'll get a chance to go out and visit on your spare time. So not only is the federal duck stamp required for migratory bird hunting, it is also your admission ticket to every National Wildlife Refuge who have an interest-free program. So you can enjoy all your favorite animals and hobbies in your favorite outdoor spots. The federal duck stamp program gives a unique opportunity to combine art, wildlife appreciation, habitat conservation, to bring together wise use of wildlife and habitat resources. Today's contest is an opportunity to observe an annual event that will eventually raise approximately $40 million for habitat conservation. You are a part of history every year that we put on this contest. Thank you for that. Whether you purchase the annual duck stamp because you hunt migratory birds, want access to National Wildlife Refuges, you collect the stamps, or just think it's a pretty thing to have and give as a gift, we do appreciate that. So thank you for those who purchased the stamp for allowing us all an opportunity to enjoy these public lands. Now let's get this contest started, and we're going to ask Larry Mallinger to come and kick it off. Let's go, Larry. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jerome. And now we're at day 2 of the Federal Duck Stamp Contest, and we'll begin with round 2. But a little housekeeping before that. As all of you probably know, that yesterday when the judges judged each entry in the contest, a majority of 3 in votes by the judges brought that piece to round 2. The judges selected, by that method, 69 entries to be in round 2. Then, according to the rules, after that round is complete, each of the judges on their own can go back to the entries that were not selected by majority vote, and on their own can bring up to 5 individual entries in themselves. They don't have to designate any entries to come back, or they can individually select up to 5. So that meant that anywhere from 0 to 25 entries could be added to round 2 scoring. In doing that process, they ended up bringing 14 additional entries back. And for those keeping track of these things, I'll read the numbers of the entries that were brought back into competing for round 2. They were numbers 67, 91, 107, 133, 156, 161, 188, 201, 206, 235, 257, 263, 282, and 288. So with the 69 entries that were voted in by majority and the 14 bringbacks, there will be 83 entries that will be judged in round 2. Just to recap the judging, in this round, the judges will see each remaining entry by numerical order. They will each see the artwork individually. After viewing one piece of art, they'll be asked to vote. In this round, they will vote between 1 and 5. So a composite score of between 5 and 25 will be awarded to each entry. At the end of that round, The entries with the 5 highest scores will go to the third and final round. And so it could definitely be more than 5 entries that proceed to the next round. For example, if the top 5 scores are 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, then any entry receiving one of those scores would proceed to the third round. After the round is over, the judges will have the opportunity to be secluded and see the entries that are advancing to the third round. That'll probably take anywhere from 20 minutes to a half an hour, at which time we will reconvene with some ceremonial program, and then the third and final round. And the winner of this year's duck stamp contest, their painting that'll adorn the 2026-27 federal duck stamp, will be selected by the judges. In that round, it'll proceed the same manner as round 2, except the judges will all vote with an either score of 3, 4, or 5. So every entry in the final round will get a composite score of between 15 and 25. We're looking for a clear first place, second place, and third place. If there are any ties, the judges will be asked to break those ties, and we'll explain further exactly how the tiebreaker works if we get to that. So one other thing I would caution the audience is that you're all going to know the scores that each of these entries receive. The judges are only going to know what score they gave the entry. They will not see the composite scores. So in keeping the judges sort of out of knowing what's going on, we're going to ask you not to kind of overreact to certain pieces receiving certain scores. I know it might be difficult, but try to contain yourself to the best of your ability. So without any further ado, we will begin judging in round 2. Thank you.
Entry number 4. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 21. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 23. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 26. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 28. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 32. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 34. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 40. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 45. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 50. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 53. vote. Thank you.
Entry number 55. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 62. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 64. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 67. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 75. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 76. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 79. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 83. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 85. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 91. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 96. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 101. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 103. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 106. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 107. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 113.
Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 116. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 117. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 118. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 119. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 125. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 130. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 131. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 132. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 133. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 135. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 136. Please vote. Thank you. Entry 138. Please vote.
Thank you.
Entry number 148. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 149. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 151. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 153. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 154. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 155. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 156. Please vote.
Thank you. Entry number 157. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 159. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 161. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 171. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 183. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 185. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 188. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 191. Please vote. Thank you. Entry 194. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 197. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 201. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 206. Please vote. Thank you. Entry number 208. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 213. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 217. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 218. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 224. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 225. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 229. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 231. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 235. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 238. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 254. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 257. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 260. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 261. Please vote. Thank you.
Number 262. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 263. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 268. Please vote. Thank you.
Number 269. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 279. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 282. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry 286. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 288. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 289. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 290. Please vote. Thank you.
Number 292. Please vote. Thank you. That concludes the judging in round 2 of the contest. We're going to break for approximately 30 minutes to give the judges the opportunity to review those entries that have made it to the 3rd and final round. We will reconvene at approximately 11:45, have the ceremonial portion of the program, and commence with the final round of judging at just about noon. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Mark Madison, the historian for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and I'd like to show you the Fish and Wildlife Service Archives and Museum very quickly. We'll start over here in our archival storage area. Come on in. This is our archival storage area where we store some of our artifacts. We actually have 4 facilities on campus, and we have about 500,000 items, all telling the history of American conservation and the history of the Fish and Wildlife Service. So this is where we store items that might be going into the museum in the future, might be actually sent out to other visitor centers, might actually be used at a duck stamp contest. And now I'm going to take you to our display area and show you some ding darling things, a few of which I'll be bringing down to Des Moines. So this is our work area. This is where our museum staff works. We have a freezer here to remove bugs from anything that might be taxidermed, like our bear and our tiger and our bison. But what I want to show you is the ding darling items we have, some of which are going to be too large to bring to Des Moines.
The whole 290.
This is our display room where we keep our more valuable artifacts. Come on in here. So this is the room we keep our most valuable artifacts that tell some of the more important aspects of our Fish and Wildlife Service history. And because it's a duck stamp contest activity, this is one item that's too large for us to bring to Des Moines. This is actually Ding Darling's artist desk. So at this desk, Ding Darling carried out a lot of his artistic work for the Fish and Wildlife Service and for the Des Moines Register, where he was an editorial cartoonist. We have Ding Darling's glasses. We have some cartoons. He was a famous editorial cartoonist, a 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner. And we have his chair, his ashtray, and just a bunch of things to remind us that from 1934 to 1935, we had an artist running our agency. And this is actually really fun. We actually have Ding Darling's printing press too. And I'm going to show you one cabinet over here. Just unlock it. This is where we keep some of our ding darling materials. In here we have the original 1934 duck stamp that Darling drew, purportedly on a dry cleaning piece of cardboard to stiffen up shirts. This is the print that Ding Darling would have run off his printing press, which we also have out here. It weighs 6,000 pounds. Originally came from Des Moines. That's too heavy to carry out. We have a Ding Darling beautiful engraving of an image of Sanibel, now the Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge, a place he loved. And I'm going to put this back and show you just a couple more things to give you a sense of some of the Darling artifacts we have that are so important to us. This, actually, let me just fix it so you can see it better. This is actually the original engraving for the very first duck stamp in 1934. This engraving was given to us by Ding Darling's grandson, Kip Koss, and it shows two mallards landing on a pond. And this engraving and a little stamp that came out of it transformed our agency. For the first time, we had annual consistent funds for habitat acquisition. The very first duck stamp raised $600,000 to buy wildlife and waterfowl habitat for the Biological Survey, and it made a huge difference. And I want to show you one more thing because it's really fun. Good ideas are often plagiarized even by the person who invented them. After Darling left us in 1935, he actually went on to found the National Wildlife Federation in 1936. And the Wildlife Federation was looking for a means to raise funds, and the idea they came up with was actually selling wildlife stamps. And these are some of the early stamps, open these up, from the National Wildlife Federation. See if I can. And they sold these stamps to help raise funds for their habitat acquisition, some of which were done by Darling, actually. So he took a great idea that he did in a federal conservation agency and sent it back out when he took over and founded a new NGO, the National Wildlife Federation. I have to like the fact that Darling on all his books put JND so they knew it was his and it would be returned to him. So this is just a little sense of some of the things we have in the Fish and Wildlife Service archives. I have to show you one more thing. We have 500,000 artifacts out here, so I can't show you all of them, but this is one of my favorite things that Darling made when he was trying to get Sanibel Island on the Gulf Coast of Florida protected, important wildlife, waterfowl habitat. He handmade and hand cut out these wooden signs to try to create initially a state wildlife refuge. Eventually became J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge to protect pelicans and all the other species that make Sanibel Island their home. And he was very successful. It's one of our most visited wildlife refuges today. It's a beautiful place to go and a nice legacy for Ding Darling. So I'll see you all in Des Moines, but I just wanted to give you a sense of some of the things we have in our Fish and Wildlife Service archives, a few of which I'm going to try to bring out, but some, like his desk, are too big, so at least we can share them with you now.
I think I will always love the Junior Duck Stamp program because it was the foundation of much of what forms my favorite activities and interests today. My involvement in that program just really set me on paths of exploration that formed a foundational part of who I consider myself to be today. My junior duck stamp story began around the end of 1997 as a 10-year-old. I found an advertisement for the program in the Missouri Conservationist magazine, and I'd enjoyed drawing and watching birds at our feeders for about as far back as I can remember. And so the opportunity to combine these two hobbies of mine into a fun challenge just immediately sparked my interest. But at the time, I had practically no knowledge of our wetland wildlife species. I knew of mallards and I knew of Canada geese, but that was really pretty much about it. But I was a young homeschooled kid and I loved reading, and my parents had always encouraged doing deep dives into my self-created educational research on topics that sparked my interest. So I immediately started reading up on all the different species of ducks that we have in the USA and where they can be found. And I was fascinated by all the variety and uniqueness of the different shapes and sizes and colors of the native wild duck species. I'd seen some of these in bird books before, but I'd always assumed that they were just exotic species that were, somewhere off in, distant parts. And so I'd never paid them much attention. I pretty quickly decided that I need to figure out a way to get some of my own photos of these and get some up close and personal experience to use as reference material. But I didn't think I'd be able to get close enough with the camera equipment I had at the time to the ducks in the wild. But I'd recalled seeing some ducks at the Bass Pro Shops in Springfield, Missouri that seemed reasonably tame and used to people. And so it got me thinking, well, where do they get their ducks? And so with a little further digging by my parents, we found a breeder that supplied captive raised wild duck species to both Bass Pro Shops and to zoos around the country. And so I believe my parents helped with some matching funds along with some of my savings that I'd earned from doing extra chores around the house and farm. And so I bought a pair of redheads and a pair of northern pintails to put on our pond. And then I got busy feeding them and taking pictures and doing practice drawings all winter. And so then the next spring, I submitted my very first entry to the Junior Duck Stamp program of a northern pintail. I think I was rather lucky in that the Junior Duck Stamp program was relatively new at the time, and so the competition wasn't as talented back then, because to my surprise, I ended up winning the Best of Show for the state of Missouri, despite the fact that I was only 11 at the time. And so that came with some nice prize money, and I immediately reinvested that into adding additional species to my private zoo. And my parents also helped build me a fenced and netted enclosure in the backyard with a small pond for them, as we'd lost some of the original ducks to some predators, and so I didn't want to lose any more. So I continued entering the junior competition every year all the way up through high school, and I continued to add to my collection of duck friends whenever I was able. So over the years, I ended up with wood ducks, all three species of teal, northern shovelers, American widgeon, hoodies, and then eventually fulvous whistling ducks. Once I got my driver's license, though, I also started trying to find these out in the wild as well. I got involved with my local Audubon Society chapter and went on outings with them to the wetlands in St. Louis and Columbia, Missouri, a few hours drive away. And so along the way, I ended up discovering other native bird species that, just like the duck species, I'd considered just exotic species included in the bird book as examples of fun birds from around the world. So things like, warblers and egrets and phalaropes, and just a wealth of other things that I had completely missed out on just because I didn't realize that these were passing through my region every year. My own time as a junior duck stamp competition entrant came to a close when, in my last year that I was eligible, I ended up achieving my childhood dream of actually winning the national level of the junior duck stamp competition in 2004. And as part of the prize for that, they paid for the travel expenses for me to attend the first day of sale ceremony, as well as the judging of the federal duck stamp competition that fall. It was at the judging of the federal competition that I was completely hooked for life. Just getting to see all of these amazing paintings up close and personal, and talk to a few of the artists who were in attendance. So that I knew immediately at that point that rather than this being the end of my time with the duck stamp competition, it was the beginning of something lifelong. In the 20 years since then, I've attended in person around 10 times, And every year that I'm not able to attend in person, I am closely watching the live stream. Every year that I've been able to, I've entered. Hasn't been every year, but whenever I can, I love to get an entry into the federal duck stamp competition. But the influence of the contest also had a lot wider impact than just myself. Through my own interest in the competition, my parents and all my siblings learned a lot about wetlands and ducks and our native bird species, and even the ones that didn't have much inherent personal interest in the subject. Several of my siblings did really nice entries for the junior competition themselves a few times. And to me, a really key example of what the Junior Duck Stamp program brought to our lives is an example from a story a couple of years ago. I was looking to collect some more hooded merganser reference material in the wild for the federal competition that year. And I had mentioned this to my family, and one of my brothers chimed in, "Oh, we've actually been seeing some of those in the creek near my house every morning." And it turns out he and his family had been watching them every morning, coming and going from their house. So I went down and spent the night, went out the next morning at sunrise to get some photos of the ducks that were there in his neighborhood. But it occurred to me that even though he didn't have nearly the same level of interest in birds that I do, he and his family were much more aware of the native wild duck species that were in their region than I had been when I was his kid's age. And that's all thanks to the Junior Duck Stamp program, just broadening my entire family's experience to more than just the birds at our backyard feeder. And so I intend to continue to do my best to spread that awareness and enjoyment to others. And I'd just like to say thank you to the Junior Duck Stamp program for bringing that to my awareness in the first place.
Hi, my name is Madison Grimm. I'm from Wallace, South Dakota. I first won the Junior Duck Stamp contest when I was 6 years old, becoming the youngest winner ever. I've since won it 2 other times, being the only 3-time winner in the program's history. Art and conservation run deep in my family. My dad, Adam Grimm, has won the federal duck stamp contest 3 times, including being the current winner. I actually also entered it myself this year for the first time ever. The Junior Duck Stamp program has really helped shape who I am today and has helped cultivate the passion for conservation that I carry into everything I do. I hope my journey can show how much the Junior Duck Stamp program can help inspire others to be interested in art and conservation.
My name is Michael Kensinger, and I'm a wildlife artist and outdoor writer based out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. I entered the Junior Duck Stamp for the first time when I was 11 years old, and it bred an obsession with waterfowl and waterfowl conservation. So I'm this kid, right? Picture it. 1995, 11 years old. I want to draw ducks, and I'm already kind of doing that. And then there's this duck stamp for kids, Junior Duck Stamp competition. And my teacher introduced me to it. Her husband was a wildlife artist. He gave me feedback, and it just started this journey for me. Through the Junior Duck Stamp program, I learned to stop and observe and appreciate and learn. And I think that's something that in these days is not emphasized enough, especially in this era of technology and AI and things of that nature. You know, as a kid, I was bullied a lot and I really didn't fit in. I was always a little different from everybody else. And I found my niche was with wildlife and with nature. Nature never let me down. And the Junior Duck Stamp program, when it was introduced to me at 11 years old, was a game changer. I raise money for wetlands that I've adopted, and I put up wood duck boxes and conserve actively in our local community. I stand up and I act as a voice at environmental hearings for these wetlands that are being plowed over, and finally won a duck stamp in 2021 with my painting of wood ducks. The Junior Duck Stamp gave me my calling at just 11 years old. You know, I learned that art and conservation can go hand in hand. My artwork could raise money for habitat for the wildlife that I hold near and dear to my heart. My artwork could be collected it could be worth something, but beyond the dollar, it could be actively used as a tool to protect the things I love. That's a gift that I'll always be thankful for. And so long as I can pick up a paintbrush and paint ducks, I will. And I will always, always, always think back to my time competing in the Junior Duck Stamp. And I thank all of the coordinators, past, present, and future, for the work that they've done for this program. You know, a lot of the kids that get introduced to conservation through the Junior Duck Stamp program have probably never even seen a wetland. And that's all the more reason to keep this program strong. We got to get kids outdoors. We got to get them to learn about these wild spaces and their creatures to call them home. Otherwise, they're not going to fight to protect them. And they're just going to get bulldozed. That's going to be devastating, not just to the wildlife, but also for humanity. So behind me here is Moorhen Marsh. It is one of a handful of wetlands here in central Pennsylvania that I've adopted, so to speak. They're all contractually adopted by me. And what I do and my friends that are in my group is we come down here, we pick up litter, and we also place and maintain wood duck boxes, bluebird boxes, and bee boxes, bat boxes, and that sort of thing. And the reason is this whole valley used to be wetland, and now so much of it has been fragmented due to highways and, you know, infrastructure. So for me, I wanted to come in here and give back, and that is something that I was taught through the Junior Duck Stamp program. We really have to stop looking for the value of things as a dollar figure. These wetlands are so valuable to molting wood ducks and different species of wildlife. They reproduce here, plants, reptiles, amphibians, mammals, insects. They all rely on this. They all rely on this space. Around it, you know, we have the city of Altoona, but inside of it is a treasure, and we have to preserve that and maintain that. The Junior Duck Stamp program is a critical resource for kids who might never step foot in a wetland. Maybe they've never even seen a duck. So this was my entry from 10th grade, blue-winged teal. 11th grade, blue-winged teal. I got an honorable mention in my age category. And then my senior year, I took best of show in Pennsylvania out of 668 entries. And I won 6th place at nationals. And you can tell what my favorite, probably of all ducks, is. So there I was, this kid that, you know, loved to draw ducks and was a little weird, I guess, and didn't have a lot of friends. And I was inspiring other people to enter this contest because of my passion for it. And in that way, I think the Junior Duck Stamp contest is just amazing. And I owe so much to the program. If you are an educator and you are interested in educating children, which I should hope you would be, the Junior Duck Stamp is a great way to get kids out drawing, painting, being creative, and also learning about science and learning about biology. And at the end of the day, you're raising a generation that might be creating a future for the waterfowl and the wetlands in your own backyard. So a little ducky told me that there are 11 states right now that are losing their Junior Duck Stamp coordinators. And this is devastating news. And I can only hope and pray that there are going to be new people stepping up to bat to take over the program for these states, because I know deep in my heart what it has meant to me and so many others around our country. if we're not going to stand up and teach this next generation the importance of art and conservation, then where does that leave our future?
Hi, Rebecca Knight here. I'm the 2006 Federal Junior Duck Stamp winner, and I was 15 years old at the time that I won the contest. And to this day still, that contest means so much to me, first of all on a personal level, because I learned so much about waterfowl and conservation and art. And at 15 years old, I never imagined that I would learn as much about ducks as I did. But when you paint waterfowl or when you draw something, you're forced to observe every single little detail, and you learn and absorb so much from doing that. And you also have to learn about the habitat and the behavior in order to create an accurate scene. So I owe so much of my knowledge of waterfowl in general to the Junior Duck Stamp program because I learned all of that at such a young age. I've always done a lot of drawings of animals as a kid, but it wasn't until I started entering the Junior Duck Stamp contest that I started doing more finished paintings and a lot more waterfowl. Winning that junior contest was basically my trajectory into where I am now as a wildlife artist. So I owe so much of my success to that program. On an even broader level, it just teaches kids so much about art and conservation like it did me, which I think is really important because the things that you learn as a kid are a part of what shapes you as a person. And like me, I've seen a lot of kids come out of the Junior Duck Stamp with a passion for wildlife and for wildlife art and for conservation. The Junior Duck Stamp is also the gateway into learning about the Federal Duck Stamp and what that does and what it has done throughout the years. I had the opportunity to judge the National Junior Duck Stamp Contest, and I've judged state Junior Duck Stamp contests before, but this was the first time I've judged the national contest, and that was a really amazing experience. And I was just astonished by the level of talent in this competition, and you can see the passion that the kids have for their subjects, learning about feather patterns and species and habitats and behaviors and everything. You can just see how much that you know that these kids are absorbing just by the simple act of painting it or drawing it. I just love this program so much, and I wish that it was in every school across the country, and I just can't speak highly enough about it.
My name's Walt Rhodes. I'm a pilot biologist within the branch of Migratory Bird Surveys in the Division of Migratory Bird Management for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And I come to the Federal Duck Stamp Contest every year as a scientific advisor to the judges for the contest. And generally, my role is to answer any questions that the judges may have in relation to the biological aspects of the painting, such as, does the plumage of the birds match the phenology of the vegetation? Is the bird and habitat association typically where you would see that? Now, obviously birds have wings and can be anywhere at any time, so we have some liberty there. We'll count feathers and stuff, but typically all the artists are very good about having the correct number of feathers, such as the primaries and whatnot. And I'm just here to answer anything that the judges may have a concern with, again, related to the anatomy or biology of the bird.
Everybody keeps saying it. I'm waiting for him to show up.
I had to wait till Adam got to see no one else that I could.
Good to see you. How you doing? She's good. Really? I want to make sure he was here. They don't work for you. Did you really? You lost this for all kinds of things. That's what I'm telling about that. Keep that. Let me cover up the paper. Ron's coming. Is that for the training, or y'all just, somebody just figured it out? I can't, to me, it's just, it's on the table. Weird dude. Who better tell you that? You ain't right.
Come on in, find a seat. This is it. So come on in and take your seats, please. I know we have some artists in the room and some artists online, so as we kick off this third round of judging, I'm pleased to announce next year's species that will be eligible for the contest. They are the cackling goose, blue-winged teal, mottled duck, long-tailed duck, and king eider. Let's take a look. The dates for next year's contest and the location hasn't been chosen yet, but as soon as we have everything finalized, it'll be up on our webpage. So with that, Jerome has a special presentation we'll get started with.
I do. Thanks, Valerie. I didn't read my notes. Oh, is it Adam time? Is that right? Okay, thank you. All right, all right. I found myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, at this moment, y'all, we'd like to introduce Adam Grimm, who was the winner of last year's contest. But before we get Adam up here, let me read you some of the stuff that you need to know about Adam. Adam is internationally known wildlife artist who rose to prominence in 1999 as just 21 years old. Where is Adam? I haven't seen him. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's down front. I gotta admit, it's hard to keep up with Adam. I was trying to find him yesterday, and it took all day before I got a chance to say something to him. He was hiding back there in the back, and now he's up here with me. You gotta warn me, Adam. But Adam became the youngest person ever to win the federal duck stamp competition. He still holds this title throughout the 90-year history of this program. Adam used his record-setting victory as a stepping stone to a highly successful wildlife art career, featuring many other notable achievements, including second federal duck stamp title in 2014-2015, and third for the 2025-2026 stamp. Give Adam a big hand. Great job, Adam. So his journey was even featured in The $1 Million Duck, a documentary. that follow artists as they complete their work for the most coveted prize, the Federal Duck Stamp Program. So beyond the Duck Stamp, Adam has twice been named Ducks Unlimited Artist of the Year, a significant honor recognizing his ability to bring waterfowl and wetland landscape to life in a way that resonates with hunters, conservationists, and art collectors, and stamp collectors. Adam and his wife, Janet, live with their 4 children in South Dakota. And let's see here, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His daughter, Madison, joined him for the trip and was a National Junior Duck Stamp winner 3 times as well. Is Madison here today? Where you at, Madison? There she is. There she is. Madison knows that she's one of my favorite winners ever, so she's special. I really enjoyed the opportunity to get to know Adam and his family, and not only is he a great artist, I consider him as a dear friend all these years. So, sir, come on up, and we're going to make a presentation to you. Here's a painting of stamp signed by Secretary Burgum, and I'd like to present to you this in gratitude and appreciation for what you've done for us. So,
Sure, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank
sir.
you.
Oh, we got a picture right here. All right, thanks, sir. Podium is yours, sir.
So yes, as Jerome pointed out, I'm very sneaky. So where's my speech, Valerie? No, I'm just joking. All right. Well, thank you everyone for having here. I'm honored to be here again. This is something that I hoped one day maybe I could win once in my life. So I'm humbled and feel very blessed to be here. So thank you. And I want to give credit to so many people. First of all, to God, and also to my family that helped to encourage my career path, I guess, with art. I know my parents were pretty worried I was going to be in my 40s living in their basement for quite a while. And my beautiful wife, Janet, who Jerome mentioned, I don't know if she's watching in South Dakota or not. I'm not sure how she feels about everything. So, and then my 4 kids. Madison's here, but my daughters Hannah, Jonas, and James, they're at home, probably watching as well. And I know I've got a number of other family members watching, probably my parents and some friends. So, hello to everybody. So I guess some things about this contest that I was kind of just thinking about, because I really didn't know what I was going to say when I got up here. Even now, it's kind of just, we'll see. So I just wanted to say that, looking at these literally thousands of hours worth of artwork on these walls out here, and I mean, God's creation is the inspiration for all of these pieces of art, but seeing it and how everyone views the natural world and chooses to portray it, it's pretty remarkable. So, I know there's a lot of paintings got voted out in the first round. I hope you don't get discouraged. It's one of those things with this contest, you got to pick yourself up and brush yourself off and just keep trying. But, let the natural world inspire you. And so this year, I'll just tell you this quick story because it's kind of funny. So the spectacled eider is a strange duck. I mean, you can look at it up there. Everyone can see it. So I was at an aviary at a friend of ours in Wisconsin, and I was going to paint hood mergansers, and she had some in her aviary. Madison had a nice drake, but unfortunately it died somehow. They seem like they're always trying to kill themselves in the aviary. So, especially the ones you really want to have in there. So anyhow, I went to her friend's place in Wisconsin to photograph these hood mergansers, and they were beautiful, and I got a lot of great photos, and I was pretty excited about doing a painting of them. And the sun got low in the evening, and I was like, well, that whole pen is in shade now. So I went to a different pen where there was still in the sunlight, and I was like, well, let me see what's in that pen. And she actually had some spectacled eiders, which is a very rare bird in captivity. But she said, oh yeah, you can go ahead. So I went in and laid down in the duck poop and everything, and was taking pictures of these birds. And I was like, well, they're really strange looking. But as I'm laying there photographing them in this evening light, it was so beautiful. And I just got this image in my head. I thought, if I could paint that with the mountains in the background. And I just got this kind of grand vision of what it could look like. And I thought, I think it could win. And so I went back and I started working on a design and was really liking how it was turning out. Started the painting. And I mean, it's not just a short time that goes into one of these, just the planning alone, not even counting all the photography and that kind of thing. It was so much energy that went into it and hours. And I was about 90% of the way done, maybe more than that. And I was really kind of happy with how it was coming together. It was coming together like I had kind of envisioned it. And a friend of mine in town stopped over, and I live in a town of like 90 people. It's Wallace, South Dakota. You can look it up. It's very small, but we love it. It's phenomenal. But anyway, this gentleman just stopped in because that's what people do. And he was visiting with me and had not said a word about my painting. And I was sitting there painting the whole time. And I was kind of wondering, like, I wonder what he thinks of this painting, because he wasn't saying anything about it. And sometimes that's not good. And all of a sudden he said, "Man, that is one ugly duck." And it was like a knife to my heart. It was like through my soul. And I thought, you know what? Harvey's right. Like, this is kind of an ugly duck. Like, if I get one judge that agrees with Harvey, I'm done. And so that was my big fear. And I had kind of written it off that year. I thought, I'm not going to have a chance with this. I really screwed up. And I was very surprised when it was selected, and I mean, thrilled, because the first thing I wanted to do was call up Harvey and be like, "Listen, you know that duck you thought was ugly?" So anyhow, but no, it's a great program, and thank you for everyone, all of your hard work, all the people watching at home. Thank you for tuning in. It's always exciting to see what happens, because it's kind of unpredictable sometimes. So anyway, but thank you, everybody.
Thank you. As I said, we definitely call him a friend. At the first day of sale, we have to sign stuff, the program, and stamps and stuff, and I never could find him. He was off over here talking somewhere, and I'm like, "Man, get back over here. We got work to do." But he's a great storyteller, and thank you for sharing that. At this moment, I think Jennifer Wright is going to make a special presentation, and we're going to let her do that at this moment. Jennifer.
Good morning for one more minute. Also, no one calls me Jennifer, only my father. But hi, I'm Jen Wright. Thank you, Jerome. I just would like to thank the audience and online viewers for being here. It's really important. It was really important for us to have this contest in person as well. And I would just like to give a round of applause to Valerie Fellows, who, again, for all of your hard work and dedication to this program. I could not do this without you, because as she mentioned yesterday, it is her and I in this office that put this together, and we really want to make it special for everyone. And again, congratulations to Adam. But now I would like to invite Michael Kensinger up to the podium so we may present him with a signed cover from Secretary Burgum of his companion species, the black turnstone. And Michael Kensinger is an artist, and he will explain all of this, but he's an artist who started as a junior duck stamp participant, which is really special because that's what I mostly work on. And he will tell people that he placed 6th place because technically we don't do 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So he can tell anyone what he wants. But Michael.
I really appreciate this. All right, I'm not going to get emotional here. They just, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends in school, and I was the weirdo that liked to paint ducks, and I liked to draw ducks, and I struggled with depression, and I'd go to the park, and I'd feed the ducks. I'd share my breakfast burrito from the local convenience store. It was whole grain. It was whole grain wheat. No white bread for ducks. And anyways, I was put in a class when I was in 5th grade for gifted enrichment, and there were kids in there that were good at math and kids in there that were good at just a variety of things. I was not one of the math people. I was in there because of my love for wildlife, my knowledge of wildlife, and my art. And it just so happened she had a wildlife artist husband who saw one of my colored pencil drawings of a blue-winged teal, eligible next year. I'm not telling you what I'm doing, but I'm kind of telling you what I'm doing. And he did a little red line sketch drawing. So basically, he took my drawing and he put a piece of tracing paper on it. He took a red colored pencil and traced over it and said, look, this is how you should draw your grass. It's not just one line. Because, I'm 11. It changed my life. It changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I have a brother 9 years younger than me, who I love very dearly. And he said, Michael, you're so lucky. This was recently. He said, you've always known who you are, and you really haven't changed a whole lot. And I said, that's because of the Junior Duck Stamp program. I now adopt wetlands through the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. I raise funds through my Facebook to put up wood duck boxes for wood ducks and hooded mergansers. We have to see that, and then go home and paint those birds. It's really, really special. And yeah, I was asked to do the companion species of the black turnstone. And so I'm just honored. Thank you, Jen, Suzanne. I want to squeeze you till your head pops off. When I got home and they emailed me that, I had tears in my eyes. You can imagine, because there was a racehorse that just passed away in Japan. It was famous for losing all 113 races. And I said, that's going to be me in the federal duck stamp someday. Michael Kensinger, he never won, but boy, did that guy like this contest. So thank you so much.
Just want to warn and squeezing people till the head comes off is illegal in all states and territories. Don't do that. All right, at this moment, just want to thank the judges. They've been playing around here for the last day and a half. Now it's getting serious. You got to pick the winner, and you've done a great job thus far. And I've been telling you, I've been noticing the consistency through the judges. We don't often get that, but the scoring has been right there, and so that means that you all are seeing the same thing at the same time. But thank you for your participation. We won't forget you, but you got to go to work now. All right, Larry, turn to you. Right on, Larry.
And so now the judges will judge 11 entries that are in the third and final round. In their combined scores, we're looking for a clear winner, a clear second place, and a clear third place finisher. At the end of this round, I'll confer with the official scorekeeper to see if we've accomplished that. If we haven't, if there are ties for any of those places, we will have tiebreakers just for those pieces that are tied. And we'll certainly let the judges know what ties they're breaking if it should come to that. So without any further ado, we will begin round 3.
Entry 45. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 83. Please vote.
Thank you. Entry number 130. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 132. Please vote. Thank you. Entry 136. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 157. Please vote.
Thank you. Entry number 208. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 261. Please vote. Thank you. Entry 268. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 269. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 289. Please vote. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. I'm going to take just a minute and go back and confer with our chief scorekeeper and see whether you have finished your job or not. Well, judges, I have good news and bad news. You have selected a winner. Which Ron Schindler, the counselor to the director of the Fish and Wildlife Service, will announce momentarily. Well, it might be momentarily. We'll see how long it takes you to break a three-way tie for second place. So what will happen is we will walk past each of you and show you the three entries all together that are tied for second place. And then we will do, as we've done in all the other rounds, show each of the three to you individually, and you will vote. And if you vote the same as you have, we can go on for a while. But we'll stay here as long as needed. But first, they're going to show you which three entries are tied for second place.
And then you'll come back with that artwork.
And now, judges, you will review and vote on each of the three individually.
Yep, you say entry 208.
Entry 208.
And same thing. Thank
Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 268. Please vote. Thank you.
Entry number 269. Please vote. Thank you.
I believe you have finished your job, judges. Well done. And in just a moment, we'll confirm the scores and have Ron Schindler come up and announce third, second, and the winner of this year's contest. Thank you.
Just 1 second.
Would you come up and do the honors with us?
Just take a minute and say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the three, I'd like to just make a quick observation. This morning, I was the first car in the parking lot, and so I walked down to the pond beyond the building here. And as I walked around the ponds as quietly as I could, I noticed that there was a lot of wildlife on the pond. I have allergies to everything that grows. And so as I was walking around the pond, I suddenly sneezed. And as I did that, they all blew off the pond. It was just after the sun had come up. It was a beautiful experience. Then I came in half hour, 45 minutes later, and I saw this artwork. And both of the folks that have won, but also of some that did not. I had the impression that there was still that breathtaking moment that I had experienced this morning with the sun rising and the birds coming off the pond. And so I just want to give my gratitude to the artists that have donated so many hours to share their talent with us and their gift with us to capture those moments similar to what I experienced this morning. Not very many people can do that, and we are grateful as the Fish and Wildlife to those people that have spent hours and hours and hours developing these paintings, but years and years and years developing their talent. So without further ado, our third place winner is Jeffrey Mobley. Jeffrey, if you are here, please stand. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you. Our second place winner is Thomas E. Millen from, what is that? Kilkenna, Minnesota. Thomas, are you here? And our first place winner. Ladies and gentlemen, our first place winner is Jim Houtman from Chaska, Minnesota. Just as a note, this is the first person who has won this contest 7 times. Are you here? It will be our honor a little bit later this afternoon to give him a call and personally congratulate him on winning. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We thank everybody for coming here, and those watching on YouTube. I think everybody will agree that it's been an extremely successful contest. We especially want to thank once again our 5 judges and alternate for crowning the new duck stamp artist for the 2026-27 stamp. And I know the duck stamp office and all those in the Fish and Wildlife Service that work with the program will look forward to working this coming year with our new winner. Thank you all very much.
come behind you as well. So it'll be